from the colorful chaos of India to the calm snow-dusted silence of Sweden. Not just to live, but to chase a PhD in computer science. That's exactly what Divya did. And along the way, she discovered that PhD isn't just about research papers and deadlines. It's about rewriting who you are. From battling imposter syndrome to finding peace in solitude, from fearing failure to finding her voice, Divya's story is a masterclass in resilience and reinvention. Today, we're diving deep into the emotional side of research life, the burnout, the breakthroughs, the beauty of cultural contrast, and the art of holding it all together when the world feels frozen around you. So grab your headphones and settle in because Divya's story might just be the warm reminder you need that growth often begins in the core. Hello, Divya. Welcome to the podcast.
Thank you so much. Thank you for inviting me.
So you are a final year PhD student in computer science department in Sweden. So how's this final phase going on?
I mean, it's just taking me to places and I'm going with it. I don't know where it's going, but I'm just being there, trying to just live with it. I have to start my thesis writing soon. It's going to be in 7 months, hopefully. So by the end of April or something. So yeah, I'm still preparing for it. Let's see.
How is this initial step of writing your thesis?
Actually, initial phase of writing thesis is about thinking what to write, right? I mean, we have to first start with thinking, and that is also somebody like few weeks ago told me that if you are in that thinking phase already, then you have already started writing your thesis. You are in the initial step. So right now, I'm just like collecting all the content I can right there and how should I shape it. I have just written like the content page. I'm just preparing.
All the very best. You've already kept the first step.
Thank you so much. Actually, I'm also working on my last paper.
Okay.
So, yeah, it's going both simultaneously. Let's see how it goes.
At this point, like, how satisfied are you with your work, or are there any regrets?
Okay, I would say that PhD in itself is like always when you sign up for a PhD, you have to be very much aware of the fact that you're going to be non-satisfiable with yourself forever now. You know, you're going to be unsatisfiable with yourself whole your life, like whole this journey. Like every evening I get this, my self-esteem goes down and I feel like I haven't done anything, I haven't done enough, and I don't know if what I'm working on is even valid for my PhD or not, or even if the results will be valid or not, like how it will be. So I won't say that it is satisfying yet. I think I have heard from people who have been graduated that it is only satisfiable once you are done with it because you're like, okay, I came up with it and everything is done. But for now, I would say that I'm happy that I was able to conduct my research because I started initially in a very hard way. I would say I didn't know my topic that much. I didn't know where to go, what to do. So at that point, this point looked really far away, you know, like right now where I am, it looked like I will never be there. I was like, I'll never have my publication or anything. But now that I'm here, I feel like I will be, you know, satisfied by the end of thesis writing because I will then know that what my story is. Like, of course, you might know that PhD is full of story, right? So it's just, yeah, I am hoping to get satisfied when the story is complete.
So, like, during this your PhD journey, like, whenever you would go low, how would you like prep yourself for tomorrow?
I would say that there is not one perfect way to do it, right? I mean, it's not like every evening when I feel low or any evening I feel low, I'll do this exact thing and then I'll come up with more energy the next day. I think you learn it with the time. And the most which helped me, I don't know if it will help somebody else or not who will be doing PhD. But what helped me most was being connected with my friends who were not doing a PhD. Yeah, they actually reminded me, like, because when you are doing a PhD, it's everything in your life becomes your research. You can't shut your mind at one point, be like, okay, I'm done with today. Because if you are working on an industry and you basically feel satisfied when the task is done, but here the task is never done because you are building your own research, so you cannot disconnect. And that was the most difficult part, I would say. But yeah, I think being around with people who are not doing PhD, who are still in their sane phase of life, and who can make you reconnect with other perspective or other prospects of life, that was helpful for me. So I don't know, like, that's how I gained motivation, because I would just disconnect for the amount of time I'm with them, and then I'll just come back more more energy next day.
This is really a good point. Like, I'm going to inculcate it in my life.
Yeah, I hope it
It's
helps.
just
I don't
at
know.
all. Like, we're always surrounded by people who do PhD, and all of us are like sulking together.
Yeah, yeah. And then you also like talk about the same things, right? All the time. And
Exactly.
you are talking about the papers, publications, about your research. And then it gets very hard. And then I think all the people who are talking, like in a group, if everybody is a PhD and doing the same thing, if they are talking about the same thing, everyone is also feeling like low at the same time. So nothing is helpful there.
Yeah. There's no one to lift your spirit.
Yeah, exactly.
Your initial feeling of how to get my publications to now that you have achieved so much through the years, how was the feeling when you got your first paper published?
I mean, it helps a bit, like to understand that you are there, but it is not a sense of achievement is never there in PhD, honestly, because I don't know, it's when your first paper get published, you are already working towards your second paper. And somewhere you have this feeling that your first paper was not very nice. So when this get published, you already was like, yeah, it got published because of this or that and that, but it wasn't like so good. So this paper, the second paper, if that will get accepted, then I'll be like feeling something. But then when second paper gets accepted, you're in your third paper, right? So I don't think a lot of people are very proud of their first paper, honestly, because it's the initial paper. You do very little of a research there. It's just paper writing. But in my case, I would say it was like ice breaking thing for me, because I got my paper in 2.5 year of my PhD. So I was already very depressed, and then I got it, and then I was like, oh yes, now I can start working on something that I believe in. So it was really, really helpful. And I could just say that if anybody is planning to do a PhD, when you come into PhD, just do a survey paper as your first paper. So starting a survey paper writing is the best approach, according to me. Like, then when that get accepted, you get to go to the conference, experience talking to people there of your own field, then you can get an idea there or something like that. So your first paper doesn't need to be really, out of this world.
How is the support system in your group or in your university? Like, what's the work culture like?
In general aspect, I could say that Scandinavian PhDs are really like supported, and they value you a lot, and they value your mental health, and they value your well-being, because they understand the process could be very hectic for yourselves.
What's the diversity of your group?
Actually, my group is from Italy, because my professor is not well, like, he's from Italy. He was a visiting professor. So I didn't have any group here. We are only three people doing our PhDs in Sweden. So, and I could say like all three of us are not Swedish. Yeah, but the culture is quite, it's multicultural. The PhD experience, the department itself, it's like full of people from outside Sweden and outside Europe also. So you get to meet a lot of international people.
Generally, how is it to be with Swedish people?
I would say they are very friendly, very friendly people. They will help you out in like everything possible in their for them to do it for you. So they will try to help you out, if you ask for help or something. But it's quite difficult here to make friends out of Swedish people because they have this culture of being in the same city where they grew up and they have this similar friend group. So it's quite difficult to break that group and be a part of that group.
Initially, when you came to Sweden, it was very difficult for you to adapt then.
Coming to Sweden was a extreme cultural shock for me. It took me a lot of time to understand that it's not common if you are sitting with a person, you need to talk to them. You don't have to like
Right.
have a small talk with them. And if you want to know more cultural shock, I would say with the weather. The weather here is kind of very, we come from tropical countries. So it was 6 months of darkness, 6 months of brightness. My brain and my body was confused. So, and we also get to see a lot of northern lights from our balconies also.
So I'm assuming because you're already in your final year of your PhD, you might have traveled to many countries within Europe.
Yeah, yes, yes.
So which all countries have you checked?
Oh my God, I have traveled a lot actually, and that also comes not just because of the conferences, if you are asking, but also from the fact that I live here. So I feel like going out to the world and like where I can get some sun, or in summers, I look for somewhere I can go and like have a night time. So I travel in general a lot than any other PhD student. But I would say PhD is a great place to get like to experience a travel, like if you're like, I have an amazing supervisor also. Okay, so he supports a lot in these things, and he never says that I should not go somewhere, because actually work on like my work is on my system, right? I work in computer science, so it is not mandatory for me to stay here. Like, I don't work in a lab or something. So he supports me whenever I ask him. So that is also the reason why I have traveled a lot. But if you are asking me number of countries, I don't know if I should give it to you. I think it's around 20 or something. I don't know.
Okay, okay.
And I have also traveled outside Europe, I would say. Yeah.
So coming back to your Italian professor, what was his support like and how his character kind of helped you to do very good research?
He has been amazing to me, like in my last years, I would say. And he is always there to support the ideas I have. He listens to them, but it is not like whatever I'm speaking about is like, not making sense, or like it doesn't have any worth. I have never felt like that with him. So that is one of the most important thing you want in your supervisor, right? To make you feel like, okay, you also can say things and you can be wrong or right. I like my feel more because now my supervisor is so amazing.
So there is this one group which talks about how they're suffering from their toxic supervisor, and you belong to the other group, like who started to enjoy your field more because of your supervisor.
Yeah, I think the sad part about my end of my PhD is that I won't get to like work with him.
In your PhD, initially we all have this very strong imposter syndrome where we're all like being
I still
negative.
have it.
I also think it's a very common pattern among women where they have this imposter syndrome. So through the years, how did you deal with imposter syndrome?
It is important to understand one thing, that not anybody in this world is doing something really important or something which is like out of the world. And when you understand that thing, you will feel less like about this imposter syndrome. But I completely agree that I still have that, and I will always have it, because it's I would give you just an example. That's what my mom always like reminds me. She tells me that when I was in my ninth standard for the first time, I started saying that, I won't be able to do it, like these studies and all, because I was really good. So, and then I did my ninth standard. And then, as you all must know, like we Indians, like we have this in 11th standard, because then the things get really serious, right? And then you do it, and then you are in 12th standard, and then when you come out of these things, like when you come out of 9th standard or 11th standard and you go into bachelor's, you're like, oh, the studies were so easy, they were never difficult, what are you even saying? And that's the thing which you will achieve in your life, it will be less important to you afterwards. Like, you will be like, oh, those were not that difficult. So it's always going to be the case. It's always the things which you can't achieve will be difficult. The things you have achieved will be like the most easiest thing. Like if I can do it, anybody can, right? And that's the truth actually, that if you can do it, anybody can. And that is equally true. It's not like you have done it so nobody else, but you have to understand that whatever you are choosing or doing, it doesn't have to be really wonderful, and it doesn't have to be the out of the world. You are on the journey to learn and understand and like produce new things, new ideas. And even if you are doing it, like even if you are feeling you are not doing enough, you are somewhere doing something which should be enough. Because then there are people who are not doing anything at all and thinking, oh my god, I'm doing amazing in my life. Everybody should, like, I still have it, and I would say, but still I feel like I have an amazing, as I will always shout out to my friends because they always remind me how far I have come.
Through the years, initially, like when you started your PhD, maybe there were many things that you were not unsure. So, do you have any instances in your life where you just was worried unnecessarily?
I overthink think a lot about my first publication, like a lot, and that was not needed. I would say, like, I could have just written whatever I know, and I could have just put it in a paper and showed it to my supervisor, and could have improved it, and then would let the like path. But I didn't do it. I was just overthinking about it, and then I regret doubting myself a lot and then wasting time by doubting myself, just these things. And yeah, like, don't think anything is impossible. That's what I want to say. Like, don't think you will not be able to publish anything. Don't think you will not be able to present in a conference ever, or you won't be able to produce results, because those are common things to think while you are doing a PhD. But by the end of it, the idea of a PhD is to make you able to understand and think of new ideas. It's not for you to like produce like something huge, but to learn. So that's it. Don't underestimate yourself. Also, like, to remind you of your positives, like there could be the case that you are not being able to develop an algorithm or solve an equation, but there could be a slight chance that you make a amazing paneer, I don't know, paneer butter masala or something. So just make it, eat it, and on that day, and be proud of yourself that you cooked something so amazing, and then be fine with it. That's what I mean. Like find your worth outside your PhD so that you keep getting motivated. Like you can have people around you who sees that in you, or you can have yourself.
So now, rewinding a little bit back, what was the process of getting this position in Sweden for your PhD?
Yes, very interesting question. So I would say just look at Google, find applications to apply for. There is a site which is youraccess.com. I think that's very helpful. And you can just filter out the positions you want there, and in the subject you want a position, and then apply for it. Give a CV, give a nice cover letter, and don't use ChatGPT, guys. Make your own writing, and that can do wonders to get into the interview. And then I basically had, yeah, I actually went through a lot of applications before this position. A lot of my applications got rejected, and then I start improving my application CV and CV and cover letter, and then I got into the interviews, and then I gave a lot of interviews, and it was like, oh, I'm passing the first phase but not going towards the second. Then there was a point when I was passing both phases, and then not the final one. Then I came here, like, and just I had a technical round here too, and then you have an introductory round, then you have a technical round, then you have an HR round. So, yeah, that was the process. But just put applications out. You never know what is there. Like, grab all the application. Don't think too much about putting application. You can put like very shitty application CV, and you can, like, you never know whatever they are looking for, it can be in your CV. So just put it out.
So, how difficult was it to live away from your parents, India,
Yeah.
all the things that you know?
Yeah, I mean, I would say like there was COVID going on at the time when like I had to come here. So I was, and my master's, I think I got my PhD after 7 or 8 months after my completion of master's. So those 8 or 9 months were like the most depressing months of my life. I don't know now if I can say that it was for life, because then I came here and I got more depressed. But it's always like you see the other side is greener, right? And then you go there and you're like, oh no. um, so I would say, like, I was not very much aware at that time. I had to leave, and then I will leave them, like, for such a long time. And I just came because I was very enthusiastic, passionate about doing a PhD. I did not know anything about PhD, and still I wanted to do it. So I was just looking forward to that. But then when I came here, I realized, oh shit, it is really far away. I won't see them now for such a long time. And I think after 2 weeks, or I think after 4 days, or more or less, I had basically an anxiety attack or panic attack where I felt it inside me that I am very far away from home. So it was very, very difficult. So first year was the most difficult one. Problem was basically to understand the dynamics of life now, right? Because it was just in India, we have a very different culture from Europe. You don't get away from your parents ever. They don't never make you feel like you are a person now, you are an individual now, you have to make decisions, or you have to like choose. They're like, we will make decisions for for you, we will make choices.
Pamper too much.
Yeah, pamper, and also like they control you too much. When you come out, you're like, oh, I have to make decisions now. I have to choose between things. What does it go like? Why my mom is not around to tell me what to do? And also I think also the fact that when you go back home, you always have this idea of having someone there. And then you come here and you come back from the university and you cook alone and you sit alone and you eat, right? And and I think it's very rare in India that people eat alone, because it's always like, with a family or something, and you sit on the ground and you eat it with your hand and you're fighting with your brothers and everything. So that was actually kind of a struggle, and that's where you find Indian people. You meet them, you make them friends, and you all guys eat together and all every day, because everybody is going through the same thing. So I'll say, like, find your Indian friendships outside India.
How easy was it to spot Indians in the place where you're staying?
When I came here 4 years ago, I think it was very less Indian. Like, we have I think only 8 or 9 Indians in this city. And then now it is increasing a lot. But as I said, like, I met a few people I love, and then I made a home out of them.
I think so. It's story of every Indian who is studying here.
Yeah, choose wisely. Because if you don't choose wisely here, and if people are bad, then it can hurt you too much. And then your parents are not around to console you. I also know few Indians who were introvert and who are introvert, and they love it here. Like, there is no one who can intrude your life or can ask you questions, and they are enjoying every bit of here. I would say, like, even if anybody is doing PhD right now, if they will do PhD, if at any point in the PhD you ever feel this is like just too much, and not even PhD, I would say in life in general, just give it a time. Time always helps a lot. No, I'm serious. Like, time is a big medicine. I have learned it. Like, just if you are having a lot of thoughts, you are having a lot of pressure in your head, just give it a time. Just sit with it for like 10 days. You will realize on 11th day you are better. So even with the PhD problems.
So whoever will watch this video, they'll just forget like what they're watching. It feels mostly like motivation class on
Okay.
how time to answer everything, how to enjoy your independence, and how your research is going to be like the most basic knowledge that everyone must have. Like things are going to be like this, but time will answer everything.
No, I
No.
think I think
Thanks so much for your insights.
I would say like it's as you become older, or people say as you become wiser with PhD, you realize that time and calmness is everything. And if you have to deal with anything, just deal with it calmly and it will be solved. And calmly means give it a time. Give it a time to resolve itself. I don't know if you have ever play badminton. Like in badminton, if you lose a lot of point, at one point you just keep on giving the shuttle back. You don't think about a point anymore, and then you get a point. It's like that. Anybody needs more of these TED talks, please follow me. I'm on a YouTube. You can ask me questions there.
Yeah, so you also have other hobbies than just studying, what that is to make these YouTube videos, right? So was that a way to cope up with your research life?
How it started was basically I was traveling a lot, and then I was putting pictures on Instagram, but my friends suggested me like to do a YouTube, and then it was just it just started like that. I wish I would have started a bit earlier because I miss so many places also.
Okay.
But I have now, I think, 40 videos on my YouTube because I now
Okay.
try to keep updating.
Thank you so much for all the insights.
I'll be very happy if I could be helpful for anyone.
I myself took many insights from you, like many points. I'm like, okay, okay, this is going to happen. So time is going to answer. Like I have noted down few points to survive in my PhD. So assuming all our viewers, listeners also will be a lot more educated on this topic.
Thank you. Thank you for inviting me. It was really nice talking to you, actually.
As the last fun part, we can say, we have this rapid fire round. Okay, here goes your first question. One word to describe Sweden in your first month.
Darkness, depressed
One thing you miss about India that Sweden can't replace.
people.
One stereotype about women in science that annoys you the most.
There are too many. I mean, I don't know. Just the fact that they believe that we can't do research at the first hand, right? I mean, they are like, they have a lot of too many hormones to do a research, so it's bullshit.
Who's been your biggest cheerleader during your PhD?
Actually, a lot of friends and also my mom, I would say. Like she always like, she's very simple, so she just like kind of motivates me by saying very simple things, reminding me how I was, what I'll be, and how life is not that complicated, like simplifying things. So yeah, my mom.
What's more painful, period pains or reading the reviewer's comment?
Oh God. This is a really nice one. Oh God. I don't know. I would say period pain. I hate them.
If you could live in one European city for a year, which would it be?
Oh, Italy.
Biggest thing you've adopted from Swedish life?
Biggest thing, being on time.
Superpower you wish you had?
Superpower. Right now I would say like to make a job out of my passion.
Okay. And your passion is?
Passion is, as I said, people, like humans,
Okay.
reading
Okay.
human mind and knowing what is going inside people, a human's head, and the kind nature. How wonderful a human can be. I mean, I know how humans can be very bad too, but yeah,
So learn a new language or try new cuisine first.
new cuisine.
Okay. Yeah. So that's your rapid fire round.
It was amazing, actually. It was really nice. You made it very nicely.
Thank you. And regarding as a woman, most of us have already experienced this that how we are treated differently in the workplace compared to men.
Mm-hmm.
So, is it something that even you have gone through in your workplace where when you're talking, you're just cut through in the middle, or there's a lot of explanation given to you for a topic which you've already understood, or then the slight racism and belittlement that they do?
Of course, you meet people like them everywhere in the world. So I have met people like these, a lot of them here also. But it's just that I think you have to over talk over them. Like, you have to just be like, ignore them, and not like ignoring in the way that just ignore what they are doing, making them realize that they are doing something which is not appropriate and which cannot be accepted by you. Just tell them what they are doing. I think the best thing is just speak to them the way they are speaking to you, and just be like, add your little sarcasm there, and then they will understand how bad it feels. So definitely you meet people like them everywhere. I would say, like, to me, it's very important to set boundaries with them. And in general, I mean, you can have fun with people, but you have to make them realize that, like, there are few boundaries, right? I mean, if you never make them realize, they will never realize. It's not like, oh, they will realize it on their own. Just try to maybe counter them with that. Like, as I said, like, just make them feel how they make you feel. Just talk to them in the same way they do. And even if you feel like, sometimes what happens that you don't say anything, so that the whole thing doesn't get out of the hand, right? You don't want to make awkward scenes, right? I mean, this is what happens generally with women, I would say. Like, we don't say anything because we don't want to make anything awkward. We don't want other people to think we are very difficult or something. So what I use is humor. So they still realize that I noticed what they are doing, but I will smile with it, yeah, or make it. But again, I'm trying to decode it in a way that I will, like, I should stop making it also sound like humor. I should just straight away say those things to them. Nevertheless, how awkward anybody else could be. Like, we have to make a space in, like, for ourselves in this world, right? I mean, everybody has to. You have to fight for it. Like, being a woman, it is a bit difficult than a man, but you always have to find a way. And nobody else can understand it. Also, if you tell anyone else your story, they will be like, oh, you are overthinking about it or overdoing it. But believe in your gut. Whatever your gut is saying is completely true. If somebody is shitty, they are shitty. Like, full stop. Stop defending them.
Initially, I thought maybe because I'm from India, so there will be racism, obviously, and maybe that is the main reason for them to ill-treat me. Then I meet this more people all over Europe, and some women, I think these ladies should have no problem in their workplace. But then the complaints or the kind of experiences they have gone through is as similar as mine. Anyways, thank you so much. In this tough phase, starting to write your thesis, you have made sure to set aside some time to come to my podcast and then share your views, which I'm very sure most of them will be useful.
Thank you.
Thank you so much for your time.
Thank you so much. And I would say, like, it was really nice talking to you. Didn't even feel like I was being podcasted or anything. I was just like I was into the conversation whole time, and it was really nice actually. I think the time passes really soon because I was also in first year few months ago. I don't know how I ended up in fourth year already. Enjoy your journey as a PhD. It will actually give you a lot of insights about yourself also in a process, and you will learn a lot. You will be a different person. I hope not completely not a mad person, but you will be a different person by the end of it, and it will be an amazing journey. Best of luck.
Thank you so much.
Bye bye.
Thank you all for watching Qubit Monk. If you enjoyed this conversation, don't forget to like, share, and subscribe. Stay curious, stay kind, and I'll see you in the next one.